Students, in today's lecture, we will be talking more about diseases and specifically deficiency diseases. Disease is the abnormal condition which makes the body weak and a person cannot perform his normal work. So, as we all know, when we are suffering from disease, we are not able to work properly, our body feels very weak and loss of energy. And in specific, if I am talking about deficiency diseases, what are it? These are the diseases which occur mainly due to the deficiency of one or more nutrients in the body over a long period of time. So, if we are not taking a proper diet, or if our diet is not in proper nutrients, or we are in deficient of one or more nutrients, not for 1 or 2 days but for a long period of time, it is termed as a deficiency disease. For example, wheat, it is very rich in carbohydrates and it is less in nutrients like proteins and fats. Too much intake of wheat, if we are just only having chapatis paratha chips, so it contains basically wheat. So if we are having a lot of intake of wheat product, it results in deficiency of proteins and fats and thereby reducing the growth. So we must always have balanced diet, means a diet which contains all amount of nutrients in the proper quantity. As we all know that carbohydrates are termed as energy giving food. So, absence of carbohydrates in a diet leads to weakness and tiredness. It causes physical and mental stress too. A balanced intake of carbohydrate is a must for healthy person, or overeating of carbohydrates on the other hand makes the people overweight and obese. So obese people have a high probability of suffering from diseases such as heart problems and diabetes. Since the person is overeating a lot of carbs, it can lead to increase in their weight and so they become lazy. Do you know, students, proteins are termed as, yes, bodybuilding foods. So, deficiency of proteins in the diet results in the development of diseases related to protein energy malnutrition. So, if we are not having proper protein in our diet, we can suffer from the diseases which are termed as protein energy malnutrition. So, examples of these type of diseases are kwashiorkor and marasmus. These are the two types of diseases related with protein energy malnutrition. Firstly, if we are talking about kwashiorkor, it is a disease that occurs mainly due to the deficiency mostly of proteins in the body. It affects mainly, I'm specifying, mainly children under 5 years of age which do not get protein in their regular diet. If we are talking about kwashiorkor, we must know its symptoms as well. Children who exhibit this disease are small, they have thin limbs, pale and dry skin. They also have stunted growth and swollen legs, large pot like belly, and mental retardation and diarrhea. So, these are all the symptoms of kwashiorkor. Marasmus, it is a disease that again occurs due to the deficiency of proteins and carbohydrates. It basically affects the infants. Infants means the children who feed on mother's milk and who receives less protein in their diet. Some of the common symptoms of marasmus are that the children are very thin, they have lean muscles, weak bones, weak legs, mental retardation, etc. If we are talking about vitamins, each vitamin regulates a specific function of the body and plays a vital role. And even absence of these in diet can cause several diseases. So means we must also take proper vitamins in our diet. If we are talking about vitamin A, do you know from where do we get vitamin A? We get it from carrot, mangoes, butter, egg yolk, etc. And their function is to keep our eyes, hair, and skin healthy. Since they are responsible for keeping our eyes healthy, its deficiency can lead to night blindness. The symptoms of night blindness are poor vision in deep light, poor vision in dim light, and dryness in the mouth. Next, coming to vitamin B1. Its sources are beans, meat, eggs, grains, and sprouts. It helps in digestion and maintaining the proper nervous system. Its deficiency disease is termed as beriberi. So, if we are not having proper vitamin B1 in our diet, we can suffer from beriberi. And what are its symptoms? Loss of weight, weak muscles, and degeneration of nerves. Next, moving to vitamin C. This vitamin C can be obtained from oranges, tomatoes, lemon, guava, amla, etc. Its function is to resist infections and keep teeth, gums, and joints healthy. So, it protects us from the infections and keeps our teeth and gums healthy. The deficiency of vitamin C can lead to scurvy, and its symptoms are bleeding gums, swelling of joints, and moreover, wounds take longer time to heal. Next, moving to vitamin D. It can be obtained from fish, eggs, milk, butter, and most importantly, exposure to sunlight. If we are sitting in the proper sunlight, or if we are doing any activity in the sunlight, we are intaking vitamin D. It is also very important, students, as it helps in the normal growth of bones in children. Its deficiency is termed as rickets, and its symptoms can be noted as deformed and soft bones and decaying teeth. If our teeth are starting decay and we are not having proper bone strength, we need to have lot of food items or sit in the sunlight to complete the deficiency of vitamin D. Next, the last vitamin is vitamin K. It can be obtained from fish, liver oil, spinach, cabbage, milk, eggs, etc. It helps in clotting of blood, and its deficiency leads to the delayed clotting, means excessive bleeding from injuries. Our blood won't stop, we'll keep on bleeding if we got hurt. So for proper blood clotting, we need the proper diet with the vitamin K. Talking about minerals. Minerals also exist in certain chemical reactions in the body. And if you're not having proper minerals as well, we will be suffering from many of the deficiency diseases. Some examples of the minerals are iron, iodine, calcium, phosphorus, sodium, potassium, magnesium, etc. You will be amazed to know, students, that the minerals can be categorized into two types depending upon the intake in our body. They are macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients, these are the minerals that are needed by the body in large amount, जो ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में चाहिए होते हैं. They are termed as macronutrients. On the other hand, micronutrients, these are the minerals that are needed by the body in small amount. So, firstly we will talk about the iron. As we all have heard that take proper iron, you must take iron rich food. Why? From where do we get iron and why we must have the proper iron food? Yes, students, we get iron from cereals, apples, fish, meat, green leafy vegetables, etc. Students, that's very important because it helps in formation of hemoglobin, the important part of the blood and the blood cells. Since we will not have proper blood or proper regulation of blood, we can suffer from very serious problems. So we must have a proper diet with iron. Its deficiency leads to anemia. And how can you recognize anemia? It's that you will be suffering from headache, dark patches under the eyes, pale body color, and weakness and feeling of tiredness. Next, talking about iodine. What is iodine? It requires students, iodine is present in the salts and it is required for the proper functioning of the thyroid gland. Its deficiency leads to goiter. Its symptoms are swelling of glands near the throat, mental retardation, and poor growth in the infancy. Next, moving to calcium. Oh, as we all know, again we listen calcium. You must drink milk. You must have eggs or the dairy products. These all things are very rich in calcium. So the main source of calcium can be milk, eggs, dairy products, and green leafy vegetables. And what's their function, students? They strengthen our bones and teeth, and further they helps in clotting of blood as that of vitamin K. So if we need strong bones and teeth, we need to have lot of calcium in our diet. The examples, or I must say the deficiency disease caused by the calcium is osteoporosis. That is, it is commonly observed in adults, and common symptoms are weak and brittle bones, tooth decay, and stunted growth. Next, we'll be talking about deficiency of water. Who don't know that how much we need water and how much we intake it? So, water is very essential for all the proper functioning of our body. Excess loss of water from the body leads to the condition called dehydration, and it causes dehydration basically. It causes loss of salts and leads to weakness in the body. There is a solution called ORS. You might have seen electrol or drunk electrol. It is ORS, that is oral rehydrating solution, which must be given to the patients to recover from the dehydration. So proper intake of water is very important.